How's it going, everybody? It's the Keenest Fox here. This is my channel where I talk about anime, video games, and cartoons, most notably Sonic and Ninja Turtles. And today, I'm going to talk to you a little bit about Sonic, of course. And if you read this out of the video, you already know what I'm going to talk about. I'm going to actually talk about the chemistry between Sonic and Amy. So, I know if a lot of people that watch me and know I'm a huge Sonamy fan and all that stuff. I like to talk about Sonamy from time to time on this channel and stuff. As you know, one of my most popular, actually, no, not one of my most popular video is my video about how I went from a Sonally fan to a Sonamy fan. Originally titled "Why I Think That Sonally or Why I Think Sonamy is Better Than Sonally." So, anyways, I'm gonna tell you a little bit about the chemistry between Sonic and Amy and stuff. This is originally going to be a Valentine's Day special, but since it's already March and stuff, I mean, I just figured it's better late than never, to be honest with you. But anyways, it's been quite a while since I've actually talked about Son Amy. I know I've talked about it on the side in some videos and stuff, and I brought it up here and there, or it gets mentioned by other people. But I haven't talked about it honestly in the last 2 years, to be honest with you. Like, done a full on breakdown and stuff. But I wanted to at least rewatch Sonic Boom first before I actually go into more detail about Son Amy. So, yeah, so here I go. So rarely you'll get people who would compare Sonic and Amy's relationship to like the Joker and Harley Quinn from the Batman series. And aside from Amy and Harley being love-struck sidekicks with acrobatic skills and giant hammers, their motivations and common sense are just by far different. Harley is swayed by the Joker's lies and manipulation and became a villain for those reasons, whereas Amy is motivated by the betterment of herself to be the perfect match for Sonic. So, in a way, Amy and Harley, they have their similarities, but they also, of course, I would say, like, that's just the big difference, is that Harley became the worst version of herself because of the Joker, whereas Amy's become the best version of herself because of Sonic. Okay? And obviously, Sonic and the Joker have, they're much different in terms of, like, in just every category, so yeah. But there is one specific couple that does come to mind when I do think of Sonic and Amy, and that's actually Andy Bogart and Mai Shiranui from the Fatal Fury and the King of Fighters series. So, if you don't know, Andy is the brother of the main protagonist, Terry Bogart, the strongest man in the world, and has trained to be a ninja to get revenge against Geese Howard for his dad's death. And Mai is Andy's girlfriend and granddaughter of Andy's ninja master. Mai, actually, Mai is a lot like Amy and is clingy, straightforward, and romantic. Mai is also ambitious about settling down and getting married to Andy. And Sonic is like Andy, is like he's just not interested in it's just a committed relationship at the moment, but he isn't like dismissive of the idea since they do have deep feelings for Amy and Mai. So yeah, and I like this kind of dynamic because it kind of gives the girl a reason to like self improve, whereas the boys have a reason to fight their hardest, for these characters and stuff. It kind of establishes like trust, loyalty, and commitment and stuff. And as I said before, I do love this like qualities inside a relationship, and I think it does make for a good character development. All right, so about the history between Son and Amy and stuff. So as we all know, Sonic and Amy have met on their adventure to Little Planet, where Amy was captured by Metal Sonic and rescued later by Sonic himself. Those are the events of Sonic CD. And in the manga, Amy is actually the childhood friend and girlfriend of Nikki, who later transforms into Sonic and would often rescue her, much like Superman and Lois Lane. So that's actually the history between Sonic and Amy and stuff, and the manga being the earliest version of Amy. I actually like the Shugaken manga origin of Sonic low key because it's grounded and it's not like a dramatization. I like the little things like Sonic's family, his timid personality, similar to Tails, his dad being a pilot and stuff, his mom's a housewife, him having a little sister, etc. I actually like that kind of like lifestyle for Sonic and stuff at the beginning. That makes for, to me, an interesting kind of background. And here, Amy or Emmy is Nikki's supportive girlfriend who stands with him through thick and thin. She wants Nikki to be more confident and stronger in himself and stuff, much like his counterpart, Sonic, which is unknown to her and actually to Nikki himself. So, in the Sonic manga, it's a little weird, but Sonic actually has a bit of a Yami Yugi kind of thing going, where basically one minute he's like, oh, Nikki, like Yugi, and then the next he's like, oh, Yami Yugi and stuff, which is Sonic in this case. So yeah, but that's the manga interpretation of it. Alright, so I've done a video before as to why I think that Amy inside the Archie comics is actually a pretty well written character and stuff. I think she was actually pretty likable inside the comics and stuff, compared to like, parallel to or in contrast to like her 2000s counterpart. Even though I think Amy has some times to shine inside the games, but I'll get to that later. So, anyways, while Sally is actually Sonic's primary love interest inside the comics, I actually like Sonic and Amy's chemistry a lot more here. Much like in the events of Sonic CD, Sonic rescues Amy and Tails from Metal Sonic and Robotnik Prime. Later, she lives inside Knothole and she actually becomes Sonic's pen pal, in case you didn't know. Eventually, Amy does become a freedom fighter after getting turned down in the past for her age, but after some training with Julie Sue and becoming a freedom fighter, she's definitely earned Sonic's respect and trust. Even in the moments when they've like doubted their own inabilities, they encourage each other and stuff. So yeah, I actually like the dynamic here, even inside the Archie comics. Even if Amy isn't Sonic's primary love interest, though, even though Amy isn't Sonic's primary love interest, I still think that they actually would make a pretty nice couple. In the games, Amy has foresaw herself falling in love with a hero that would save Little Planet through her tarot cards, which kind of fits the future theme of the game. Of course, Sonic's had some qualms with Amy before, given her violent temper and her attachment to him, leading to a lot of controversy. However, Amy does believe in Sonic's perseverance and almost never doubts him when in a tough situation, and Sonic does consider Amy to be one of his oldest and closest friends, much like Tails and Knuckles. In the anime, it's no different, but more fleshed out. And here, we learn that Amy wants to open up her own bakery, and she wants to settle down with Sonic, of course. Her love for him can have her trail off and act recklessly in certain situations, of course, but it is actually pretty genuine, like how she was willing to wait her whole life just to see him again. And it's definitely not like a one-sided deal either, because Sonic has actually shown interest in Amy before. Sonic once overcame his fear of water in order to save Amy from drowning once. Then he actually wore her charm bracelet or like lucky bracelet that she had made for him that very same day after she had believed it was destroyed. So yeah, he also did kind of find her attractive when she dressed up formally at a party, which kind of inspired by headcanon that Sonic's into traditional Japanese women or nobles and stuff. He's kind of like, I guess he kind of likes that look. That's just my opinion, but yeah. They even kind of shared the same theme together called Shining Road, which is Sonic X's most played outro. So yeah, those are just some things that Sonic and Amy have, whether it be in the games or the anime and stuff, that I think makes them close. In Sonic Boom, it's pretty evident that they both like each other strongly, and by season 2, it kind of implies that they kind of have a bit of an unofficial relationship since they act more like a couple in that season. Amy is a bit more mature and reserved than her other counterparts in this version, and her feelings for Sonic is a bit more secretive and tame. They generally spend quality time together, whether it's fighting Eggman, playing games, watching movies, or just going on picnics. Sonic does see Amy as a buzzkill sometimes, being the voice of reason, and isn't as like sensitive as her or emotional, like when he turns down group hugs or is dismissive about talking about feelings. But he does make some compromises for her and cheers her up whenever she's down. And Amy is very reliable to Sonic as a friend, manager, researcher, and fighter. Outside of that, they have a pretty good and casual relationship as friends, where they borrow things from one another and just hang out like anyone else. So yeah, that's what I think about Sonic and Amy's relationship inside Sonic Boom. In the IDW comics, they have the same history as they do inside the games, but they seem a lot more closer and not as problematic. They work well as partners, much like Sonic does with Tails and Knuckles being in full sync with each other. They have some good exchanges, whether it be awkward, friendly, casual, professional, or just being supportive of one another. Amy resumes her normal life outside of the restoration by traveling and being affiliated with friends. Sonic continues his work as a hero, traveling, stopping threats, reforming past enemies and badniks, or just taking it easy. Some people kind of compare this relationship between them to Sonic and Sally's past relationship, but the difference is being that Sonic and Amy aren't as argumentative, with each other and they don't clash as opposites. Like in Sonic Frontiers, I think they're both at the height of their maturity, and I wouldn't mind seeing this handle. Like I wouldn't mind this being the handle on their character throughout this like run of the comics. Due to the mandates, I think the writers have worked around it and just have this implied romance between them rather than actually have them officially together. In Sonic Prime, there's not much commentary I can give that Sonic has with Amy's original counterpart, but as always, she's a close friend and they spend quality time together. The only thing Amy might have a gripe with Sonic over is his immaturity and his inconsideration in this version. Sonic does think of Amy as someone that's reliable and cares enough about her that he will pull his punches against her counterparts like Rusty Rose or Thorn Rose, so he does have a soft spot for her for sure. Even though Rusty and Thorn, Sonic does try to manage to like at least talk them down or reach out to. The two counterparts he's made progress with at least is Black Rose, who actually respects him as a leader, and eventually Thorn, who does come around. So yeah, that's what I think of Sonic and Amy's relationship inside Sonic Prime. So, what is chemistry? Chemistry is the study of chemicals and bonds. When it's used to describe characterization in a story, it's kind of referring to how two characters get along. A common mistake is that people relate chemistry to romance, which is not always the case. Sonic and Tails have good chemistry, whether it be student, mentor, hero, and sidekick, or a brotherly-like relationship. Sonic's power and confidence mix up for Tails' insecurity and timidness, whereas Tails' genius-level intellect and ingenuity makes up for Sonic's inability and rashness. Sonic and Knuckles have good chemistry as well, whether it be their back and forth, but they butt heads a lot, or how underreactive Sonic can be and how overreactive Knuckles is. The two are both chummy and they work well with each other and can be just as competitive with one another. So yeah. So chemistry doesn't always have to be romantic or romance or whatever. It just be anything really. Like, oh, how do these characters get along? Hell, you can hate a character. Like two characters can like literally hate each other and they can still have good chemistry, like Sonic and Eggman, or Sonic and Shadow. Or, well, Sonic and Shadow they hate each other, but you know what I mean. So yeah. And according to a lot of fans, Sonic's most notably has good chemistry with Sally Acorn, where the two grew up together. Sally is a good tactical fighter and outgoing leader, whereas Sonic is usually prefers to fight head-on by himself. Bad chemistry is when it makes no sense why two characters are together as either a friend or a pair. For example, Mark Grayson from Invincible, aka Invincible, and his ex-girlfriend Amber Minute. In the comics, they had a pretty decent relationship where they were open and honest with each other, but broke up because Amber just couldn't handle Mark's superhero life. But the Amazon TV series handles the relationship much worse, where Amber isn't as patient with Mark and has the expectation that he is supposed to tell her his secret identity, which kind of compromises Amber and Mark's family, both. Amber doesn't provide anything of value to Mark's character apart from being the first girlfriend. She's annoying and mean-spirited to Mark, which makes no sense why they're even together. Then the writing deems Mark was in the wrong because he kept the truth from her, even though they've been dating for like 6 to 7 months. So to share such a secret for somebody that you've only known for like less than a year, that's not enough. But of course, there are some other examples. Like you can include Twilight. I don't read the Twilight series or anything, but I saw the first movie. You have characters like Edward and Bella who are like together because of their mutual attraction for one another. It kind of makes no sense why she's so casual around and so like a vampire and stuff. But hey, you can also have toxic relationships, and that can still be considered good chemistry, like Yagami and Misa Amane. The writing is self-aware that these two crazies are unhealthy and stuff, but they work well as Bonnie and Clyde. So yeah. Bottom line, I think Sonic and Amy have good chemistry than what they're credited for. To Amy, Sonic is her motivator to improve herself as a dependable person, whether it's earning his approval or simply just hyping herself up. To Sonic, Amy is someone he's protective of, much like Tails sometimes, and is his emotional support. They have shared attacks like the Croquet Bomber, shared themes like Shining Road, and actually some pretty solid moments together. They have a few hiccups in the past, whether it be how their characters are portrayed as like one-dimensional or otherwise. But I think the meta error and the Sonic Boom kind of salvaged the chemistry that they shared between each other in the series. Anyways, that's what I think about Sonic and Amy's chemistry throughout the series. Tell me down below what you guys think. And this is actually going to be one of my last Sonic videos I'm going to talk about or discuss for a while, at least because I'm going to take a little bit of a small break. So there isn't much to really talk about Sonic right now. I mean, I know there's some new DLC stuff with Sonic Frontiers and Sonic Origins and stuff, but I'm pretty content with how things are going in the series, whether it be the comics or the games and stuff. So you won't hear me complaining or anything, or there isn't like I said, much to really talk about besides maybe Sonic Prime Season 2, I guess. But I'm not like one of those channels. But anyways, yeah. So yeah, that's what I am gonna do. I'm gonna probably focus more of my energy talking about Ninja Turtles and anime, like I promote myself that I talk about, and definitely try to put more effort into my animations and stuff. I haven't really been doing a lot of that lately, but you'll definitely see some Sonic related animations and stuff if you're interested. But anyways, this is the Keenest Fox, and I am out. Peace, and until we meet again.